fellow cultists, welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club, and we're gonna go back into the side stories. We're gonna go into Understanding Part 2. Let's hope that there's not one for Natsuki. For the first time, Sayori is the first to enter the club room. Anxiety courses through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Chances are she's gonna be very nervous as well. Sitting at a desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down. Why am I letting this affect me so much? I'm doing everything I can to make Yuri happy. But my best wasn't good enough. You're trying to make Yuri happy, but you're not making yourself happy. But it was still my best. But I'm letting everyone down. I'm always just a disappointment. No, that's not true. Sayori continues to wrestle with her self-deprecating thoughts. Every tiny noise causes her to lift her head in anticipation of Yuri's arrival. Ellipses. Minutes pass and nobody enters the club room. Not Yuri, not Monica. Gosh, I'm so late. Why did I offer to help those other students with their work? I'm such a pushover sometimes. It's gonna leave such a bad impression on new club members like Yuri if I'm not the first one there. Monica rounds the corner, approaching the club room. As she does so, Yuri? Ah! Yuri jumps at the sound of Monica's voice. Then she's sitting outside the club room against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book she was reading and stands up. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late. You didn't have to wait outside for me. The door to the club room is open. It's not. Yuri stammers, unable to explain herself. She peers inside the club room through the window and then looks away. Actually, I was wondering if I could help you today instead. Me? With club publicity stuff? Yes. Monica is utterly confused. Why is Yuri asking this all of a sudden? When she was so eager to spend time with Sayori before. Did they not get along after all? Monica looks into the club room herself to see Sayori sitting alone inside. Okay, it's kind of a simple job, but I'd be happy for you to tag along. Me too. Monica is worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself into whatever conflict that may have arisen. It's a little ironic. She realizes that she could be so conflict advocate after having been in the debate club. Okay, let's take a walk together. I just have to make copies of this new flyer, then go around to the billboard and replace the old ones with the new ones. Yuri nods and the two set off. The two walk in silence. Without Sayori, Monica finds it quite difficult to strike up a conversation. So, how's everything been going? Fine. That's good. Neither of them follow up with anything more. Monica tenses up at the stinted conversation. How the heck does Sayori do it? Sorry I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer lab to work on the flyers. Sayori told me. What did you two end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. Oh, I'm glad. It's really starting to feel more like a literature club now. Yeah. It's kind of funny. I felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of reading you were into. But you know, it's kind of stupid of me because I'm just intimidated by things I'm not good at. And it's silly to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's so cool that you were able to get Sayori into it. It's like the club is working. I'm really happy about that. She's not into it, huh? She's not into it, and I'm stupid for forcing it onto her. Yuri falls silent again as if she started her thought but can't figure out how to continue it. Did something happen? No, it's just me. Yuri pauses. I'm thinking. A moment passes in silence, then Yuri shakes her head. I shouldn't be complaining to you all of a sudden. Don't be silly. I wouldn't think you're complaining. I just want to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to that, then you can tell me anything. Well, I do feel welcome. Too welcome, I guess. It's not an issue with the club, it's just an issue with me. So I feel wrong to inconvenience you with it. Ah. Monika pauses and thinks. Well, what if we put it this way? It's my job as president to understand the needs of the club members, right? We're going to have all kinds of people joining this club, hopefully anyway, and learning about the diverse needs and interests of everyone will help me come up with the club activities that everyone can be happy with. That everyone can be happy with. Not just only some people. Of course. I need to be looking out for everyone, otherwise what kind of club would it be? I see. Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monika that switching from a sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. Each individual that truly does have their own needs. Okay. Yuri takes a deep breath. I'm a really weird and awkward person. I've accepted that about myself. I just don't know how to, I guess, connect with other people. How is it so easy for everyone else? How do you just make conversation about an arbitrary topic? I can talk for hours about the things I'm into, unfortunately so much that I don't know when to stop. But for anything else, I just have no idea what to say. So I understand that about myself. I'm just not good with people. I can't help it. So it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored or made fun of, or taken pity on. And Sayori falls into that third category. What? Hold on, you're saying that Sayori is taking pity on you? She nods. I just want to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me or you don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I could accept that and move on. Sayori is too nice to me. I'm so stupid for not realizing that she would just go along with whatever I pushed her onto her. Nobody deserves to put themselves through that kind of discomfort just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. It's the worst feeling. I hate it. Yuri's sharp words cut through the tense air. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stop short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over their original task. Monika looks at Yuri. Yuri only looks down with her fist clenched. I think you should tell her that. I could never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic. Sayori is different. Making people happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that's all she's trying to do. So if you're able to explain to her what makes you happy, then she'll do anything to make it happen. That's the problem. What kind of friendship has one person always trying to cater to the other person's weird needs? I'm sorry. I'm making myself sound so... No, I think I'm starting to understand. Monika hesitates to finish her thought out loud. It's something that Sayori would be able to say better. Sayori is someone who will give anyone however much kindness they need in order to smile. But Yuri, who has difficulty accepting kindness, must be driving Sayori to be even more assertive in her kindness, further exasperating the matter. Neither person is to blame, but it's an issue that can't be resolved without them understanding the other better. This is pretty much going into, like, social issues that every high schooler or college student goes through. Sayori wants to be your friend, I promise that. It's okay for different people to have different needs. I mean, Sayori has her own needs too, but good friends work together and can be what they need for each other. You just have to have good communication and talk about it. I don't have good communication. Yuri stops and shakes her head. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is just, it's so resistant to everything. I'm pushing such a kind person away from me because of it. Yuri pauses to think. I'm so tired of the cycle I'm creating for myself. I think I'm so afraid of people pushing me away that I just push them away first. How thoughtless and immature of me. Oh, this is sort of a common thing that some high school, that a lot of people actually go through. Yuri takes a deep breath and exhales. I didn't mean for this to turn into a whole venting session, but I understand now that I just need to communicate with her. Aha, you're totally fine. It's for the club, remember? You're just helping make the club a better place for everyone. Yeah. Yuri falls silent again. She looks like she wants to say something. This kind of critical thinking is something that I'm really bad at. You know, about people. So thank you. Anytime. Interpersonal communications is important to learn, but sometimes it's hard. Monika smiles at Yuri. For just a moment, Yuri finds it in herself to meet Monika's gaze, returning a shy smile of her own. Yuri and Monika finish replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monika mostly did the work while Yuri followed along. But as the club room once again draws near, so does Yuri's confrontation. I can't do this. Yes, you can. It'll be great. Yuri sighs and shakes her head. I'm never gonna feel confident enough. I just have to do it. If I don't do it now, I never will. Yuri starts towards the door, but then turns to face Monika. You're not just gonna wait outside, are you? I can take a walk. Want me to get you a coffee or something? Actually, I prefer tea. I like to make my own, though, so please don't worry about it. Although, I suppose that's one downside of reading here in the club rather than at home. I don't get to drink tea while reading. Sorry, I guess that has nothing to do with this. You know, that you mentioned it, I bet we can get permission to keep stuff for tea in the club room. You can use, like, an electric kettle to heat up water, right? Would that really be possible? I'll look into it. I think it would be great. Yuri smiles and nods at the thought. Well, I'll be back in a bit. Good luck. Monika waves at Yuri, then turns around and departs down the hallway as Yuri's smile fades once more. A moment of daydreaming about tea isn't enough to save her from the anxiety of the task that lies before her, but it must be done. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the clubroom door. Here we go. Yuri? Wait, hold on, I'm not done yet! Sayori shuffles a bunch of papers around. Excuse me. Yuri stammers her words, suddenly caught in her throat. At that moment, she realizes how Sayori has been spending her afternoon. I wasn't expecting you to come today. I was really hoping to make it all the way through the next chapter first, but I got most of the way through it. And look! Sayori holds up a sheet of paper. It's a page of notes, beautifully produced with indentations, categories, and even color coding. As Yuri sees it, her expression shifts from anxiety to despair. I was afraid you were getting disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard. Stop. Yuri presses her fists against her forehead. Please stop. I can't take this. Yuri? Sayori's voice quivers in shock after having received that exact opposite response she was expecting. I'm sorry. Sayori looks away in guilt. Did I do something wrong? I don't understand. So if I did something wrong, please tell me. Yuri shakes her head. No, it's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. If you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay. Please, just tell me. I don't need to be treated differently just because I'm weird. But I don't treat you differently. I just want my friends to be happy. So I thought that if we did something together that you really like, I don't want your pity. Why did I do that? Yuri sinks to her knees. Her voice squeaks. Oh no. I'm sorry. Tears of guilt and self-loathing began to stream down her face. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Why is it so hard just to articulate your thoughts? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Yuri's mind pounds with internal accusations as she shuts her eyes. unable to face Sayori or the rest of the world. She should leave, just escape from here, before Monica sees her like this. And before Sayori tells Monica what she did. But before Yuri can put any strength into her legs, she feels a warm pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind. Oh, it's okay. Sayori whispers in a soothing voice. It's okay. It's okay. Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Sayori's kind gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through a clenched throat, trying with all her willpower to control herself. I understand. I understand that the things you're feeling in your head are different from the things you're trying to say. I know that it must be what you're feeling right now. I promise I understand that. So I'll give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, just tell me your feelings and we'll talk about them together, okay? Yuri sniffles again and nods her head. She gives her a half-minute to compose her thoughts, then speaks while steadying her voice. I think that I've gotten so used to people being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is just doing it out of pity. I'm so horrible with people. So it makes me not want to believe that someone can actually like me or for who I am. Yuri pauses, but Sayori doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue. This is hitting hard. I got so excited when I joined the literature club. I thought that it was finally my chance to make friends through my interests. Because my interests are the only things I know how to talk about. It's all I have going for me. But then, whenever I catch myself getting overly obsessive in front of other people, it feels like I'm making a fool of myself. I hate myself for it. Oh, this is really hitting hard because I've seen stuff like this before when I was in college. People with anxiety and people thinking that they're weird when they meet new people. Trust me, I've been through that myself. Not as extreme as Yuri, but something similar. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person, but how am I supposed to expect that when I can't behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people and stop ruining things for myself. That's all. Yuri finishes her thoughts, feeling more steady after having gotten them out. Sayori, who can feel Yuri's breath rise and fall from beneath her arms, realizes that as well. Thank you for helping me understand you a little better. You know, you were so great at helping me while we were reading, so I'll help you with the things that you need too, but I feel like it would just be frustrating for you, with how much patience I require sometimes. That sounds kind of familiar. I couldn't stop worrying about that while we were reading. I was so afraid you would get frustrated with me. But I would never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience. Yeah, I know. But my irrational fears just won't be quiet sometimes. I'm sure it's the same for you, right? Yeah. Irrational fears. Well, you know, there's no way that you could frustrate me, because I'm already like you as the person that you are. You know you said you had a hard time believing that, but I promise that it's true. You don't have to be a social person for people to like you. I think you're really considerate in your own way, you know, worrying so much about people's feelings. We're all kinda weird. It's a literature club. But it's the best part that that we're all different and have different interests. Like, about the book. I'm reading it because I want to. I promise, that's what I really want. It's a bit of a struggle, but try not to mistake that for me not enjoying it. I mean, we could never discover new things if we didn't try them first, right? I want to learn the reasons that you love it so much. And in the end, if it's not for me, then I can say that, but I'll be glad that I tried it and learned more about you. This is pretty much like advice that people should take on the internet. But a lot of people on the internet take it for granted a little bit, from what I've seen. Plus, you're like super duper smart, and I want that to rub off on me. Yuri fights back a smile at that comment. Already, the heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated through the caress of Sayori's arms. Your hair is so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but I was awful at taking care of it, so I cut it all off. Yuri's tension relaxes. That quote, that is probably fuel for the R-34 fire. For once, she feels okay just listening rather than worrying so much about saying the right thing. Sayori, sensing Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. It must be so difficult for her to feel relaxed around other people. But if the literature club can make it happen, then it's something that she deserves to experience. Well then, based on my understanding of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we were to continue reading. That's what I wanted to hear, but we can stop at any time. If you truly don't like it, please be honest about it. I won't be offended. Of course. I'm not gonna judge anything this early on, though. So we'll just see what happens. Oh, and, it's not good to touch people without their consent. Come on! I know it wasn't consensual, but Yuri kinda needed it. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Oh, you didn't. I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying. I'm back! Monika's back. I haven't seen you, at all recently. Sayori trots over to Monika. Ah, she whispers loudly. Can I hug you? Haha. Sure, Sayori. Sayori wraps her arms around Monika. Oh yeah, Yuri, it might be good to know. Sayori can be kind of a hug monster. Ah. Hey, don't call me a hug monster. Artemis is a monster. I mean, if he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster. Haha. Yuri laughs. Monika perplexedly looks between the two of them, then smiles. Well, I'm glad you've been enjoying your reading so far. It's like our first real activity as a literature club. About that. Well, you've been so patient with exploring my interests. I think that it would be inconsiderate of me not to return the favor to you and learn about the things that you like. Yes, you like poetry? Yuri smiles. And that's it. There are no more side stories, though. Wait, to get all 6 side stories, try writing poems from different characters and viewing their special scenes. Oh no, that means there's another one. Because we got 4, and there's 6. What are the pictures this time? Oh, there's that. Ah. We're in this together. Wake up early. I believe in you. Sunshine. But, I was hoping that with that, we could, change the fates of some characters here. See, any more pictures? No. These all have to be unlocked one way or another. And this one was just sad. A scene from the side story Understanding. Because it's relatable, because a lot of people go through this on the internet. There's no escaping that. And music, there's new music there. I guess we need to continue on with the main story. But now I see that in order to get all 6 of them, you have to write specific poems. In this case, Natsuki has to be done with a special poem or something, but maybe this will happen once we start baking. It's already Sunday. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Natsuki's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. I wonder if she'll act any different when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, she's been texting me a lot. We sent each other one after exchanging number to double check, but it turned into conversation. She's almost a different personality on the phone, using tons of emojis and cute language. She also really likes complaining about things, but I kinda saw that one coming. But putting Natsuki aside, I haven't heard a thing from Sayori since she left the club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayori said and what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put Sayori's feeling aside when she might need me? I would like to go. I decided to visit Sayori before Natsuki comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reached Sayori's house, I knocked on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we've made a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we were family. The house is quiet. Sayori isn't anywhere on the first floor, so I assume she's up in her room. It's already strange of her not to run down and greet me. I head up into the bedroom where I finally meet her. Sayori? There she is. Hi, Zero. I sit down in her room. Sayori forces a smile, but it's easy to tell that she's different. There's a minute of silence between us. You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you? I guess you're right. It has been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayori's room is as messy as it always has been. I'm hoping that with the side stories that we've changed the fates, or something. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and the decorations that she had for years now. If you came over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess. That's because I end up cleaning it for you. How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to see Natsuki today? Yeah, but... Wait, how did you know that? Sayori had already left by the time we decided the last meeting. Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right? That's true. But what about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today? Of course. But I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything. So it's just me and Natsuki then. Yep. There's more silence between us. Sayori stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point. I just wanted to see how you were doing after you left Friday. When something's wrong, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well. So, Sayori shakes her head. That's no good, Zero. Eh? Why can't it just be like it always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have even been thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me. Sayori! I grab Sayori by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Why are you being so dramatic? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this. Or were one of the other students bullying you or something? So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Sayori gives me an empty smile. Why is my face in a surprised look? You really put me in a trap, Zero. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. Seeing what? What are you talking about? You're just going to make me say it, aren't you, Zero? Guess I have no choice this time. Thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? In the side stories that we saw, we know that. Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy and caring to waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy, without anyone worrying about me. I'm in shock. Yeah, my VR model's in shock too. But it's always stuck. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayori kept this from me the entire time that I've known her? Did she really want so badly for me to just not think about her? Why, Sayori? Eh? Why is it that you never told me about this? It almost feels like I have been betrayed as your close friend. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. That's absolutely true. Even if there's only so much that I could do, I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me. You don't understand at all, Zero. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes, but it also feels like a bat being swung against my head. That's why I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then I discovered something else too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone in the club. It feels like a spear going through my heart, so that's why I decided the world just wants to torture me. Oh no, don't think like that. Every path leads to nothing but hurt. You're right. You're right that I don't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayori. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting, that's what I'll do. No, Zero. There's nothing at all. The only thing that could have helped is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am. Tears streaked down Sayori's face. I made you join the literature club because I was selfish, and I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. Oh, don't cry. That's not being selfish. And now you came here and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am, and that's why I'm going to accept these punishments. Because I deserve every last one. Without thinking, I once again grabbed Sayori's shoulders. Yeah, call her the hug monster, I'm the shoulder monster. This time I pull her into a tight embrace. Zero... Sayori, I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. If I make friends with everyone else, then that's just a bonus. But please never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Zero. Sayori isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Sayori's arms remain at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear. No, don't do this to me. Please don't do this. Zero. Sayori barely manages to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. Yes, you are. But all I want is for her to know that I care. If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. And if there's anything that you need me to do, then you better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't. I don't know. Gently, Sayori finally puts her arms around me in return. I don't know anything. It's all really scary. I don't understand any of my feelings, Zero. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm, and that's really scary too. Sayori lets me go. As she does so, I let her go as well. The festival's tomorrow. Yeah. It's gonna be fun, right? Yeah. How would you like for me to spend it all with you? It's what I want. I promise. I think that would be nice, then. Yeah. Sayori wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day here, I would. Of all days, this would have to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel. No, don't! Yeah, I wish I could. Please don't. If you did that, that would... then I really wouldn't forgive you. But it's almost time for Natsuki to meet me at my house. At the very least, do you want to come along and help out? It would be fun. To my surprise, Sayori shakes her head. I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be very good for me today. You understand, right? It's kind of hard for me to fully understand, but I'm trying my hardest. It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Alright. I look forward to it. I say goodbye to Sayori and exit her house. On the way home, I find myself still feeling uneasy, but it's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Natsuki is about to come over too. I think Sayori's right. I shouldn't be worrying too much. And we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. In this case, it's going to be Natsuki. I spent only a few minutes back at home, anxiously awaiting Natsuki's arrival. Before I knew it, she texted me to let me know she's outside the front door. Without delay, I opened the front door to let her in. Sup? I don't know what I was expecting. But seeing Natsuki in something other than her school uniform totally threw me off. Yeah, I think I'm seeing Iron Mouse right now. Seeing her in such cute clothes makes the uniform seem totally unfitting in comparison. Jeez, don't make it feel so awkward already. It's gonna be a long afternoon, so don't be weird just because you're not used to seeing me outside of school. Anyway, I'm coming in. I see you brought a lot of stuff. Natsuki is carrying a large bag that is probably full of baking supplies. Well, I didn't want to come all this way to find out that your kitchen isn't equipped for the job. You bought everything I asked you to, right? Yes, I did. Yesterday, Natsuki asked me to buy a bunch of ingredients if I didn't already have them at home. Good. Glad I could count on you to do your part. Well, of course. I'm surprised to hear Natsuki suddenly say that, rather than something snarky like she usually does. Could it be that she is a little different outside of the school after all? Anyway, let's go to the kitchen. What, you're not even gonna offer to take this heavy bag from me? Where's your hospitality, Zero? No, I think the term is actually chivalry. Come on. Since when did I need to be a gentleman? Now! I grab the bag Natsuki holds out to me. Gah, this is ridiculously heavy. Ha ha ha. She tricked me. I carried that all the way here. Are you impressed? I see now. Yeah, I am impressed, Natsuki. It seems like I always underestimate you. Yeah, but she's so frail and she always eats potatoes or something like that. It's because I'm so small, isn't it? You jerk. Natsuki hits a fist into my chest. Hey! Your size has nothing to do with it. Do you really hate being small that much? Eh? It's not like I hate it. I mean, sometimes I like proving people wrong when they only think I'm worth my size. It's fun when I get to be small, and also better than other people. But, geez, never mind. What are you making me say? Don't think you can make me talk about weird things just because we're not at school. Are we getting started or what? There's a lot of stuff I gotta teach you. What? That's a little bit more like you. You're more fun when you just speak your mind like that. Yes, Natsuki says it like it is. Hey, now are you treating me like a kid? Well, that's because you are a kid, and it's already been confirmed that Iron Mouse is his tsundere. But I will not try to harm Iron Mouse in any way. because she's a living thing. But I will make the suggestion that Iron Mouse should date Connor. Now that would be something. I was just trying to be a little nicer to you, you know? And just because I don't have a mature and sexy figure like Yuri doesn't mean you should treat me like... Natsuki catches her words and her face turns red. Natsuki, forget it. I didn't say anything. I should apologize. Eh? I appreciate that you were trying to be nicer. I should have been a little more considerate too. But also, if that's what you're thinking, then you should know that there are tons of guys who are into body types like yours. Ooh, hopefully this does not get anybody angry. How would you know that anyway? Just trust me on this one. Yes, and trust me because there's a bunch of R34 of you. Gross. Hey, was that to me? Who else? Man, let's just get started already. And probably gross to anybody else that plays this game. Haha. You get all sour when a girl calls you gross. I finally found your weakness, Zero Ryoko. Natsuki smiles deviously. Well, you could, well, some people would probably call me gross because I'm playing, because I play novels like this and read doujinshi. But I would probably counter that by saying, what's in your closet, bones? Please spare me. Well, if Natsuki decides to dish out more insults like that, there's no way I'm not gonna fight back. But she's satisfied enough for now, finally starting to pull things out of her bag so we can get started. Are we gonna be like that Swedish chef from Muppets? Before long, the whole kitchen is a mess. Spoons, dirty bowls, flour spilled, fluid, and plastic bags are strewn about every countertop. The mixer isn't big enough to make all the batter at once, so we've had to do it several times. Meanwhile, Natsuki is babysitting all of my movements to make sure I don't mess up her precious baking. Where'd you put the food coloring? The batter's going in the oven soon, so I need to fill the trays. I think it's still in the bag next to the table. What are you using it for? To color the batter, of course. I'm making each tray a different color. That way, even if the flavors aren't different, everyone can still pick their favorite. That's a cute idea. Are we doing anything like that with the icing? Do you want to? You're asking me? I don't really have a preference, so come on. You're not putting any heart into this at all. Can you at least try to have fun? I am having fun. I'm not really sure what Natsuki is trying to get out of me. Meanwhile, I see her separate the batter into smaller bowls and put a few drops of food coloring into each. That does look pretty cool. See? It's not like baking, it's just following instructions. The presentation is where you get to be creative and have the most fun. It's a million times more worth it in the end. If it's just looking at it makes everyone's eyes lighten up. That's true. Unless you're like Gordon Ramsay, where he's probably gonna say, fucking raw! Like the ones you made on my first day, huh? I recall Natsuki proudly presenting her cat-shaped cupcakes and Sayori and Monika's delighted expressions. I wonder if I can make Natsuki proud of that too. Yeah, maybe I will use food coloring then. Sounds like you're starting to understand. Just make sure you completely finish mixing the icing before you mess with the food coloring. Yeah, it's getting there. We were using the electric mixer for the batter, so I got stuck with a whisk and a huge bowl for the icing. The icing's still all lumpy. Are you even trying? Well, yeah. Just takes a little longer. Jeez, I'll be here all night if you do it like that. Here, look. Natsuki grabs the whisk from me and uses her other hands to tilt the bowl back. You really need to beat the crap out of it. After a few seconds, the consistency of the icing has already improved. See? As if to emphasize, Natsuki sticks a finger in the icing and pops it in her mouth. I reluctantly start to do the same. Hey! Natsuki suddenly grasps my wrist. I don't want your gross fillings in my fingers in my icing. Your icing? Reminds me of something from what was it called? The Idiots of Gary's mod or something like that, where a zombie and Grigori was having a conversation. Yeah, but my icing. Your icing? Icing. 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 I don't have your icing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do a YouTube check. Are you forgetting who did all the work? I start to fight back, trying to inch my fingers towards the bowl. Ingers. Don't make me beat the crap out of you next. I'd like to see you try. I push harder, just enough for my fingers to reach the icing. I triumphantly scoop some with my finger, just as Natsuki tugs with all her might. Ah! The force of Natsuki pulling me causes me to stumble, making her stumble in turn. Gross! You got it on my face. Whose fault is that? There's a big glob of icing on Natsuki's cheek. She tries to reach it with her tongue, but it's too far away. Jeez. You know what? Take this! Natsuki instead wipes it off with her finger before shoving her finger towards my own face. You wish. I'm faster. I grab her wrist I grab it with my hand before it reaches my face. Natsuki tries to use her other hand to fight back, but I grab that one as well. Oh, I got her now. I got her by the ropes. Stop! Not until you apologize for calling me gross. Fine, fine. I'm sorry for calling you gross. You know I don't mean it. It's just fun seeing you react to it. You do that to me all the time, you know? Saying dumb things just to get a reaction out of me? You really shouldn't tease girls like that. Well, I like to tease tsunderes like that, and you are definitely one. Is that so? In that case, I probably shouldn't do this either. I take Natsuki's finger and put it in my mouth, licking off the icing. Woo! This is gonna be fuel for the fire. What? Did you seriously just... Natsuki is so surprised that she can't even figure out how to get mad at me. Her face is entirely red. Zero. You really shouldn't do that kind of thing to girls unless you really like them. I think you should do that to Sayori instead. You know that, right? What kind of question is she asking me just like that? How did the mood turn into this so quickly? Natsuki gazes at me in silence. I notice her shallow breaths. Why am I starting to feel dizzy? Out of nowhere, the fire alarm starts going off. Natsuki rushes over to the oven. Is something burning? I thought you didn't put the cupcakes in yet. No wonder. You left a dirty tray in there, dummy. How could you make a mistake like that? You should have checked before turning the oven on. Don't blame me for your mistakes. Jeez. Natsuki uses an oven mitt to grab the blackened tray out of the oven. She sets it on top of the stove. The fire alarm stops. In the moment the fire alarm stops, Words! Zero! Anyway, I'm putting them in the oven now. Yeah, the tension from the moment before still lingers over our heads. But the moment has already been lost. I watch as Natsuki slides the cupcakes trays into the oven. Then I reluctantly picked up the whisk and continued with the icing, like nothing ever happened. Oh, we know things happened. That smells so good. The cupcakes are ready to be pulled out of the oven. As soon as Natsuki opens the oven door, a blast of sweet-smelling warm air fills the room. Look how cute they all look. She proudly looks. She shows off the different colored cupcakes in each of the trays. They'll look even better once we add icing. Not like you need to tell me that. I brought decoration stuff, so I hope you can get creative. Let's get creative! Here, scoop the icing into these bags. Natsuki hands me some plastic bags. I have these nozzles that will make it look nice and fluffy. This one can even make flowers. We'll probably won't be using it this time, though. What's this one for? I picked up a nozzle that has a much thinner tip than the others. That one's really thin, so you can use it to make stripes or other patterns. but you can also use it to write stuff on the cake, like happy birthday or whatever. I see. That gives me an idea, actually. Well, it's a literature club, right? We could make it more literature-themed by writing a different word on each of the cupcakes. It would be fun to see people choose their cupcake based on a word they like. Oh, just like those poem things that we've been doing. I was kind of expecting you to say something like something really stupid. That's actually a really cute idea, so... Oh, you were pouting because I have a good idea. Haha, maybe I'm getting it from you. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not cute. Come on. We're not at school, nobody's judging. You can't dress and act like this and not expect me to think you're cute. Well, Natsuki's voice trails off. Same with you. Eh? Did you say something? Nothing. Let's just do the icing. Natsuki picks up the paste and fastens a nozzle on each of the bags. There's a lot to do, so we shouldn't waste any time. Here, I'll show you how to do it. Without giving me a chance to think about it, Natsuki quickly moves on. She shows me how to apply the icing, and then we each get to work. This is a very long segment. We were finally finished. Natsuki puts them all side by side to admire our work. Look at how pretty they are all together. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Oh, I can't read anymore. My voice is going. I wish I could have one now. Well, there's no reason you can't, right? I don't see any harm in that. Well, yeah, but my dad's making dinner tonight, so I really need to save my appetite. Sayori's the exact opposite in that regard. If she was here, we'd probably be down 10 cupcakes already, and she would still eat dinner. Come on, that's just unhealthy. Besides, when my dad cooks, I need to eat as much of it I can. Well, anyway, I was hoping we would have time for manga, but I need to be home for dinner. Already? That's a shame. It's your fault for working so slowly. You should have thought about that. It's not like you always have this chance. Man, as usual, Natsuki places the blame on me. You can bring the cupcakes tomorrow, right? If you and Sayori each carry some, then you can probably do it in one trip. Yeah, I can do that. And, I'm doing this too fast. I wish she would listen to me in the way she listens to you. Yeah. Again, I think back to the conversation I had with Sayori earlier today. I felt so helpless. Sayori always does listen to me. But at that point, it felt like she couldn't listen to me at all. Okay, all packed up. Good work today. You too. I'll walk you out, I guess. Just like that, Natsuki is already about to leave. I feel like the afternoon went by in a flash. More than that, did I even take the opportunity to get closer to her like I wanted? Well, I guess I'll be off then. Thanks for all the help and everything. I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, Natsuki. What you said before about not always having this chance, it doesn't have to be that way at all. I had fun today. You showed me how fun baking can be, like you wanted. But aside from that, you can come over any time, okay? I think that, if possible, I'd like to spend more time like this. If you want to read manga or go out somewhere, do you really mean that? Natsuki looks at me tensely, like she's trying to hide her expression. Yeah, I want to spend more time with you. Zero. I thought you only cared about getting this done. Ugh. I'm sorry I had to leave so early today. I really didn't want to. I would really stay here longer if I could. I feel the same way as you, so... Natsuki suddenly gets closer to me. Wait, Natsuki? Standing inches from me, Natsuki looks up at me. I feel her fingers gently clutch at the sides of my shirt, as if holding on to me. Her rose-colored cheeks and matching eyes filled my vision, along with her slightly parted lips. Oh, I don't know if this is new. What is happening? My head starts to go dizzy, and I feel her soft breaths against me. I felt it for a while now. Natsuki suddenly jumps back. Sayori? Eh? Hi, Zero Ryoko. Sayori, just now, we weren't. It's okay, Zero. I just stopped by to say hi. Well, You should have come a little earlier. I'm already on my way out. Oh, Natsuki was about to kiss me. But Sayori comes by. But I think I should be paying more attention to Sayori. Aw, really? That's too bad. Yeah, well, I'll still see you at the festival tomorrow, so it's fine. Just don't eat any cupcakes before then. Anyway, later. Clearly flustered, Natsuki hurries off, and Sayori waves goodbye. Sayori, I thought you didn't want to come over today. Ah, well, I tried staying in my room, but my imagination was being really mean to me. So I had to come here to see for it for myself. See what? What are you talking about? You know, how much fun you were having with Natsuki, how close you got to her. It makes me really happy that you made such good friends. That's all that matters to me. Oh no. Tears start flowing down Sayori's face. That's all that matters to me. Why am I feeling this way, Zero? I'm supposed to be happy for you. Why does it feel like my heart is splitting in half? It hurts so much. That little percussion, that chiming bells, it just started right at the right moment. Everything hurts so much. This would be so much better if I could just disappear. Sayori, don't say that. It's true, Zero. If I wasn't here, then you wouldn't have to waste your sympathy on me. Now, wait a minute. I thought it was Yuri that didn't want to have pity. Or didn't want to be given pity or something like that. If I wasn't here, then okay. You wouldn't have to put up with me being selfish. Monica was right. I should just... Monica? Monica was right about what? Sayori. What I said before is true. I'm not going to let this continue. Caring about you like this isn't the burden on your mind it's making it out to be. It's something that makes me happy. It's something that I wouldn't trade for anything else. So even if it takes an entire lifetime, I'm gonna be by your side until you don't feel any more pain. But Sayori looks away. I put a hand on her shoulder to reassure her. I'm scared, Zero. Really scared. What are you scared of, Sayori? I'm scared that I might like you more than you like me. Sayori, it's true, isn't it? I was weak and started to like you too much. I did this to myself. Zero, I like you so much that I want to die. No. That's how I feel, and that's enough, Sayori. I don't want you to hurt anymore. I slide my hand down Sayori's arm and squeeze her hand in my own. Do you remember how I said I always know what's best for you? You still believe me? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Even if you don't understand all of your own feelings, I know what you need the most right now. And that's what I'm gonna give to you. Sayori. I would end this here, but we're so far in. But I want to protect her. And hopefully those side stories change the timeline a little bit. I love you. Huh? Those are my true feelings. So there's no way you could like me more than I like you. I should have realized it sooner, but spending time with everyone at the club, making new friends, and having fun with you every day, it helped me realize that you are truly the most important person to me. That's why I'll accept any of your burdens, as long as we continue like this every day, with you by my side. Then I know we'll both be happy. Zero. Suddenly, Sayori wraps her arms around me. Is that supposed to be me with the brown hair? That doesn't look anything like me. Zero, is this really okay? Yeah. I hold Sayori in my arms and pull her closer. You'll never have to let me go of me again. I love you, Zero. I want to be with you forever. Me too. I feel Sayori's grip around me weaken a bit. What is this, Sayori? I'm supposed to be happy right now. I've always thought this would be the happiest moment for me, but why, even now, why won't the rain clouds go away? They're not going away. They're not going away at all, Zero. It's okay, Sayori. It might take some time for things to get better again. Yeah, things were always going to get worse before they get better. But no matter how long it takes, I'll be there every step of the way. That's all that matters right now. Okay, I trust you. Sayori and I slowly release each other. So, I guess that makes the festival tomorrow. Our first date, huh? What are you saying? I don't want to think about those things, you know. I want everything to be the same as it always has been. Even if we're a couple, I don't know if I could handle anything more right now. It's really new and scary to me. I understand. We'll go at whatever pace suits you best. Hey, Zero. Sayori gazes at me once again, smiling sadly. Even if I get really, really sad, this is the best thing for me, right? Eh? I don't really understand what Sayori means by that. Are you saying that this is making you feel sad, Sayori? I don't know. I don't understand what I'm feeling. I feel like a bunch of thorns when you told me you love me. But that's why I want to trust you. You know what's best for me. Yeah, I do. That's my promise. I say that, but in reality, I never felt more uncertain when it comes to Sayori. I know that I love her, and she loves me, but I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is, even though I can confront her. I keep wondering if I should be doing something more, or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. Is that what Sayori meant by not wanting anything to change? I don't know. But I know that I'll give it everything I've got. Sayori is the most important person to me, and I'll do whatever it takes to have a happy future with her. It's the day of the festival. I'm gonna keep going. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori, but Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. I managed to carry all the cupcakes myself by stacking 2 trays. Natsuki is already texting up a storm, but I can't respond thanks to my hands being full. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over, so I can spend time with Sayori and Natsuki at the festival. But knowing Monika, I'm sure the event will be great too. Zero! You're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny, I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monika is placing her little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared at have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monika would like, and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days this important, she tried a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday, and I suddenly feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for her, Zero. I mean, especially after you with your exchange with her yesterday. How does she know that? You kinda left her hanging this morning. Oh. Exchange? Monika, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president after all. But... I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about that quickly? That we're a couple now? I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Eh? Monika is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine. Same here. Do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out real nice. Sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desk. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poems is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognize Natsuki and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's the one I haven't read before. Percent. Get out of my head times 50. Get out of my head. Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Zero? What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go get Sayori, so... Well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself. Monica calls that out to... Strain? Quickens my pace. What was I thinking? I'm hoping that things did not... hopefully, with those side stories that I did, that things changed. Because this is the reason why that this is not a blind run. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes me feel really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs. And what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer, since she's not picking up her phone. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. Sayori. She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Walking up into her house, that really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, I just feel right. I'm so nervous. Outside Sayori's room, because there's no music going on. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori, wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. No! No, 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 no! See traceback text for details. Oh no! What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be! This isn't real! Oh my god, no! There's no way this can be real. Oh no. So it doesn't matter. The side stories, they don't match. Oh god. And honestly, this is disturbing. I played this already, but it's still disturbing. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her that I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Confessing to her. I shouldn't have confessed to her. That's not what Sayori needed at all. She even told me how painful it is for others to care about her. Even in the side story, she mentioned that. Then why did I confess to her and make her feel even worse? It probably wouldn't matter. Why was I so selfish? This is all my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her like it always has been, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Fuck the literature club, fuck the festival, I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. Well, technically it is. I had only one chance, and I wasn't careful enough. Now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers, but I still couldn't do what she needed for me. And now I can never take it back. Never, 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 never. End. What? Oh. Not suitable. So the whole thing is gonna start all over again. Uh-oh. There's something I want to check. Well, she's still there. Oh, I didn't check to see if there was any mail. Well, at least they didn't show anything worse. Okay, nothing new about that. Nothing new there. Check the files. And she's gone. Sayori's character is gone. There's happy thoughts. What's the trace back? Uncaught VM runtime exception occurred. Oh, geez. I didn't break anything, did I? Hold on a second. I could probably fix this, I think. Actually, you know what? This would probably be a lot easier if I just deleted her. She's the one who's making this so difficult. Well, here goes nothing. I don't think I could delete the trace back, and I don't think I want to. Insecure directory. Okay. See if there's anything. Doesn't say. Well, there's Sayori's poem words. Well, this just hits a lot harder. But I didn't save, so let's see if, Yeah, we know, not suitable for children. Yeah, the thing is still broken. Let's see, can we change the... Uh-oh. Starting new game. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance. Waving in her arms, the air is like she's totally oblivious to any attention that she might draw to herself. That girl is my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waking up. But if she goes to chase me after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let catch up to me. It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friends and groups walking together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time I met some girls or something like that, but I have no motivation to join any clubs. But I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average, while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. Yeah, I'm probably gonna stop right here. Excuse me. So now there's empty slots, so we're gonna save it right there. There's another picture. The first sketch of Sayori's third CG. This was eventually mirrored, making the final CG one of the only instances where Sayori's bow is on the other side of her head. In Act 1, attempt to load and save after Sayori's death. I don't know if this PC thing is going to change anything overall, but this is probably a good place to stop. This is going to get really heavy from here on out. But hopefully, I'm expecting some different things. Something to give me a nice proper spook. But until then, thank you for watching. If you want to see more of what I got, sub and ring. If you want to know more news, follow me. I can't speak right now. I'm still not feeling good after seeing something like that. All I can say is that if you're feeling down and depressed, please, please, please talk to somebody about this. You are not alone. Anyway, I'll see you on the far side, and as always, anime forever. Bye-bye!